2018 Maserati Levante SUV Review. The good points of Maserati Levante SUV: low slung and good looking, class-leading aerodynamics, quiet cabin with improved quality, handles much better than Ghibli Saloon, competitive pricing. The bad points of Maserati Levante SUV: diesel doesn't appear to be a Maserati. Petrol-less is more expensive. Front seat comfort questionable. Steering heavy. A hornet gargling TCP by having a loud hailer, rooting MDF using a blunt power tool, rapidly raising and lowering a soundproof door on the soprano with stomach cramps. These include the sort of higher VIN V8 sponsored noises which, tradition has it, inevitably accompany the rapid progress of the Maserati. Perhaps, then, the largest shock on the system appendant for the arrival from the new Levante isn't decision with the company to get in the increasingly glutted luxury SUV fray, but good news that targeting rivals like the Porsche Cayenne, BMW X5 and Range Rover Sport, this latest Trident badged offering was only offered with diesel power. Gets hotter arrived from the UK in December 2016. Maserati Levante S launched 12 months after diesel. This was remedied in 2017, which has a light update to your range, which along using a new steering system and many added driver assistance technology, active lane keeping and cruise control, also heralded the introduction on the Maserati Levante S, which turns into a fantastic sounding Ferrari-built 3.0-liter twin-turbo V6 petrol, which is far closer on the spirit of Maserati compared to the diesel. It's certainly quicker, having a 5.2-second 062 miles per hour sometime and a top speed of 164 miles per hour. Not that you have a great deal wrong having a 3.0-liter V6 punching out 275 horsepower along with a wholesome 600 Nm of torque mated to a 8-speed automatic transmission and many types off-wheel drive, with the exception that the Levante diesel panders to your ingrained perceptions on the oral accompaniment. Maserati should deliver about up to a badger with whooping cough. High-tech chassis and all-off-wheel drive system. Ruthlessly benchmarked against Porsche's improbably agile Cayenne, and, mercifully, not dependent on Jeep Grand Cherokee underpinnings as once intended, the Levante has a surfeit of aluminium in the body shell and suspension, and has now the lowest center of gravity in the segment as well as near-perfect 50 hours 50 minutes weight distribution. Aerodynamic tinkering such as a front grille shutter system which opens for engine cooling purposes and closes to scale back drag, together with the result that, overall, the Maserati's shape is slippery enough to garner a best-in-class drag coefficient of only CD 0.31. This means lowest in class wind noise at high motorway speeds, making it easier to know the persistent roar of 20-inch rubber which vociferous diesel engine, when specified. The self-leveling air suspension features continuous damper control aligned into a choice of 5 ride heights which hoist the body shell only 40 mm higher than the normal 210 mm ride height, or lower it up to 45 mm for easier access and egress when parked. At speeds above 106 miles per hour, the vehicle automatically lowers by 35 mm whilst the possibilities of keeping your license are simultaneously lowered far more. Drive modes for switchable character. A number of 4 drive modes all reap the benefits of an intelligent all-wheel drive system using a sporting bias towards rear-wheel drive. Incorporating a mechanical self-locking differential and active torque control, the machine will drive the trunk wheels not until dormant, stirring when contacted to transfer up to 50% of torque for the front wheels. Luxurious cabin. On board, the best construction Maserati has managed toy trucks is hallmarked using a gently idiosyncratic meld of flair and functionality. A new multimedia interface combines an 8.4-inch touchscreen with rotary dial control, and works quickly and very well, though why something that's fundamental to winter starts as front seat heater switching needs to be buried in a very sub-menu is beyond us. Though the leather upholstery looks appropriately opulent, it somewhat lets one side down on improved stakes. Inadequate front seat back lateral support leaves you vulnerable to sliding back and forth like a puppy cornering on lino, plus the bases are sufficiently hard and lumpy to merit updating an existing fairy story to the princess along with the tennis ball status. A good value Maserati? Pricing is unquestionably that the Levante is often a relatively good value option like a diesel. But that Ferrari motor inside pushes the purchase price up by over £11,000. That's a tall order. However, the truth is that you'll get the true Maserati experience when you can afford it. The verdict. The company dubs the Levante the Maserati of SUVs, saying we didn't build an SUV, we built a Maserati. That's true from the Levante S, but simple truth is, the 3.0 diesel is very more comparable to merely a well-judged SUV which happens to be badged Maserati. Driven back-to-back, the visible difference seems bigger compared to gap in price. Watch on for your comprehensive Maserati Levante review. Choice of two engines since 2017. Diesel isn't half as superb as petrol is. All versions use 8-speed auto. There are two engine possibilities open on the Levante, a diesel as well as a higher performance S version that has a twin-turbo V6 petrol. Maserati Levante Diesel. Your sole choice at launch would be a 3.0-liter V6 turbo diesel, delivering 275 horsepower at 4,000 revolutions per minute and 600 Nm of torque from 2,000 revolutions per minute. This means 0.62 miles per hour is achieved in 6.9 seconds as well as the top speed is 143 miles per hour. These performance figures are for the cusp of less than meriting Maserati status, particularly when you lob that diesel thrum into the equation. Economy is impressive enough with 39.2 miles per gallon promised and 189 gkm of CO2, even though Levante's running price is far from the smallest in class. There's an 8-speed automatic transmission with flat bipedal manual override and intelligent all-wheel drive system which has a sporting bias towards rear-wheel drive. Maserati Levante S. The Ferrari-built 430 horsepower V6 twin-turbo petrol can be a far more pleasing proposition, smoother, properly vocal plus more potent. 0.62 miles per hour also comes in 5.2 seconds and it also hit 165 miles per hour. This engine makes all the Italian firm's first SUV feel as being a proper Maserati. You must put up with a good hit in market price and fuel economy. Claimed 39.2 miles per gallon for diesel plays 26.4 miles per gallon for S, but both of them are very costly to tax while using the latest VIN system. The S comes fitted with all the very same 8-speed automatic gearbox and all off-wheel drive system as being the diesel. Gearbox. A mechanical self-locking differential and active torque control can split the ability from completely rear-wheel drive to 50 hours 50 minutes back and front. There are 4 drive modes available: normal, sport, off-road and ice. You need to activate sport mode to arise the transmission, that is smooth enough in normal mode, but provides time to consider a particularly tricky chess move while your requested down change from 4th to 3rd is regarded as. Following the 2017 update allowed the selection of Aero 1 and 2 with the vehicle squatting low over its suspension for stable cornering and off-road 1 and a pair of, which improved the ride height by approximately 40 mm for better ground clearance. Handling belies Levante's size. Adaptive air suspension impresses. Modes for off-road and fast driving. Given that this is really a 2.2-ton car, the Levante's handling may perhaps be its finest attribute. There's stacks of grip, along with the active suspension is really a respectable fist of controlling body motion and roll throughout the corners. Old-fashioned hydraulic steering is accurate in any other case, hugely informative on pre-2017 models, and decidedly meaty in any respect speeds. That's appropriate towards the nature with the beast when pressing on, yet not so great when exploiting the 11.7-meter turning circle at parking speeds. While the paddle shift override is successful, you cannot separate suspension and transmission inside drive mode settings since you can with some rivals, so an overfirm ride comes free with sharper powertrain responses. The V6 petrol is usually a far more engaging drive. It's 100 kilograms lighter as opposed to diesel, plus it feels as though this weight has all up the nose. So the steering is perceptibly lighter along with the turn and crisper. It just feels entirely more agile, but perhaps we had arrived seduced by its excellent engine noise. New steering for 2017. During the minor update in 2017, a whole new electrically assisted power steering system was introduced through the Levante range to restore the outgoing hydraulic setup. It's the same kit installed about the Ghibli and Quattraport throughout their respective updates earlier inside the same year. In isolation, that is among the most effective systems of that type that we've tried. Maserati moved to great lengths to install many on the same qualities that will make the old configuration so likable, meaning it's sharp, responsive and intensely accurately weighted depending on the speed you're traveling. The primary cause of its introduction ended up being allow engineers to suit active lane-keeping tech as part from the driver assistance upgrades. However, it would have been too easy to remove some on the Levante's handling talent and side process. This doesn't appear to have been the truth, though, depending on an early drive of both petrol and diesel engines about the road and inside desert sands of Dubai. Off-road from the Maserati Levante. Our testers experienced the chance to push the Levante off-road on Turin, which ranged from extreme desert dunes to soggy UK mud. Also, it didn't get flustered once. On sand we set the ride height to its tallest, placed the car to use off-road drive mode and let some air out on the tires for better purchase, but everything remained standard kit. Decent approach and departure angles were evident even as traversed steeper gradients. As you move, the predominantly rear-biased all-wheel drive system was fully employed, getting torque to every wheel based on its grip level. We found the Levante planted, confidence-inspiring and surprisingly capable in the event the going got tough. On mud there we were able to test the Levante's low friction grip and also its ability to apply power diagonally through the axles even that has a wheel from the air. It also ingested big bumps with surprising comfort due to the slightly stiff ride experience with on-road, and tackled steep drops with ease while using the variable speed hill descent control. Extremely well-designed cabin. Modern multimedia system. Gearshift paddles on steering column. This is considered the most cleanly executed cabin we've seen from Maserati toy trucks. Predictably leather-heavy, but well-tailed, that has a perceptible hike in building. There's even an optional silk roof lining. Gearshift paddle shifters are mounted on the steering column, not the wheel itself. But they lack in blade length, to help you find yourself reaching for thin air when attempting a gear change with lock wound on. Conversely, the paddles obstruct access on the indicator stalks. The SATNAV, audio, telephone multimedia system with 8.4-inch touchscreen and rotary dial control looks good, quick and intuitive make use of. However, some essentials including front seat heating and ventilation are pointlessly buried in submenus. There are evident analog dials inside driver's instrument binnacle as well as the multifunction controls offers charge of displays, cruise control, and to the 1 in 1,000 owners who can never be confronted by way of a slope daunting enough to merit it, hill descent speed control. Front seats adjustable and not comfiest. Air suspension smooths out bumps well. Ride still firmer than some rivals. A good driving position that needs hiking. The seat superb within the auto, however the seat itself lets the inside down through feeling too large and too lumpy. There is spacious rear accommodation within the outer two seats, but, as it ever was, the center seat can be something of an afterthought, with legroom constricted by the rear center console. Lowest in class wind noise at speeds that can lose you your license is actually very well. However, there is a deal of tire roar from 20-inch rubber at more humdrum velocities, as well as the diesel never sounds particularly engaging, particularly at idle, in the event it thrums through the automobile like a stoutly struck wasp's nest. You'll appreciate the Petroless's soundtrack much more. The Levante rides acceptably well on air springs in most ride-height options, by having an underlying tingle through controls, plus the seat from the pants, which tells you that handling performance continues to be the priority in all of the drive modes. 2 simple trim levels. Well equipped as standard. Huge variety of options. Here it truly is, the first ever Maserati you'll be able to fix a tow bar to. While that's a possibility, there's lots of standard equipment being offered too, since you would hope from the large and premium-priced SUV. Standard Maserati Levante SUV equipment. All cars feature air conditioning, sunroof, cruise control, heated back and front seats, radar-based blind spot detectors, 360-degree cameras, emergency city braking, and all sorts of the off-road electronic trickery related to modest off-road ability. You get Bixen-on headlights and also a backlit instrument panel, plus leather seats with 6-way electrical adjustment for your driver. The standard speakers has 8 speakers including dashboard and rear door tweeters plus bass speakers within the doors. Range split by 50% in 2017. During a small update in 2017, the Levante's lineup was broken into a pair of trims dependent upon what you're searching for in an SUV. They both cost the identical, therefore it's completely into personal preference. The Gran Lusso specification gets front skid plate and roof rails silver, Gran Lusso badging, black brake calipers, 19-inch alloy wheels, while the Grand Sport trim gets piano black grille, skid plates and roof rails, Grand Sport badging, red brake calipers, 20-inch alloy wheels. Optional Maserati Levante SUV extras. Of course, a small number of cars will leave the factory in standard spec, hire many accessories available. The best place to begin with is with one in the option packs. On early pre-2017 Levantes you possessed a choice between sport and luxury packs. The sport pack carries a gloss black front grille and skid plates, a body-colored rear spoiler, steel door sills, 12 ways electric sport seats, a sport tire, 20-inch alloy wheels, red brake calipers, gearshift paddles and brushed steel sport pedals. Then there's the luxury pack, which gets the chromed front grille, steel door and boot sills, premium leather or Zegna edition interior. More about this below. 19-inch alloys, black brake calipers, Harman Kardon stereo, wooden interior trim, 12-way electric comfort seats and power rear side sun blinds. The full leather option adds height on the door panels along with the dashboard in the wide range of colors and combinations, plus contrasting stitching for the seats and headrests. Finally, the Zegna pack can be an upgrade from the full leather option, which is available for an option from the luxury pack. It combines nicer Italian leather with silk from dressmaker Ermenegildo Zegna. Other visual upgrades include 13 paint colors and 19, 20 and 21-inch wheels, plus silver finish or black gloss roof rails. Gadget-wise, you are able to pick an adaptive front lighting system and full panoramic electric sunroof. The easy entry and exit system moves the seat backwards and also the steering column upwards to acquire in and out. A home-link garage door or gate opener might be integrated inside dome lighting unit inside ceiling higher than the dashboard, and could be programmed to operate around 3 systems, ideal when you own a couple of property. Furthermore, the glove box might be locked and unlocked from the Maserati Touch Control Plus screen, having a 4-digit PIN, and you'll be able to even have a remote engine starter button about the key fob. Double laminated acoustic glass for the trunk windows reduces noise getting back in from the outside, and also the powered tailgate is usually enhanced that has a kick sensor, so that you can open the boot by waving your foot under the auto. And, when we mentioned before, you may now have a very tow bar fitted to help you tow a trailer weighing around 2,700 kilograms. If you're into the music, then there's reduced 900-watt Harman Kardon system included within the luxury pack, or a top-notch Bowers & Wilkins version. This has a single 280-watt amp and 17 speakers. In 2017 a fresh Nerissimo pack was added, and that is available on Grand Sport models and includes black highlights around the outside with the car for any darker, more menacing look. Impressively appointed keeping the car safe gear. No Euro NCAP crash test score. New driver assistance tech in 2017. The Maserati Levante hasn't been crash-tested by Euro NCAP, but this is really a high-rise SUV with 4-wheel drive, thus it should hang onto your road well and protect you inside a crash. There is another wide range of driver assistance tech that can help improve safety levels, including adaptive cruise control, blind spot alert, lane departure warning, a collision alert system, surround view camera, park assist and hill holder. In 2017 more complex driver assistance technology was added, including active lane keeping and blind spot assist, traffic sign recognition and highway assist, which almost drives for you around the motorway. However, we struggled on this system on test in Dubai. The lane keeping system was holding your vehicle too far over for the right-hand side in the road, which meant we quickly stopped making use of it and drove ourselves instead. Will seat easily, seat 4 in comfort. Boot adequate for most buyers. Powered tailgate makes life loads easier. There's a lot of room inside while using ability to take 3 passengers inside back, though middle seat passengers have restricted legroom thanks to your center console and good headspace wherever you sit. You've also got a wide range of cubbies available, including door pockets as well as a good-sized glove box. A Levante can be a large SUV, so will need big parking spaces. Visibility is excellent thanks for the high driving position, and back and front parking sensors are standard fit. As you'd expect at a big car, there's a similarly large 580-liter boot. There's a 12-volt power socket within for building a cool box and 3 others across the cabin. A powered tailgate is standard, with buttons within the key fob and inside the vehicle, to acquire in and out on the boot. This features an anti-pitching function to quit it moving when an obstacle is detected.